Hi everyone, this is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time, but today I was in my room creating, believe it or not, for the first time in a very, very long time, other than that little sewing machine project that I did. But I was talking to my friend Jacqueline. She's Metalark001 here on YouTube, and we were discussing, all these things that we have and we haven't been creating. And, when I don't create with my things, I feel bad because I'm really blessed, to have, those little things that I like to play with, and then for me to not do anything with it, I don't like the way it makes me feel. So, I've been very involved in our church, but I wanted to create something for my pastor, my pastor's wife. She's also a pastor. And we wanted, a group of us wanted to bless her. And so I wanted to create something to house that blessing in. And so I said, you know what, we're talking about Create 10, all those beautiful dies from last year's Create, Anna Griffin Create 10. And I bought it, and I didn't even follow along with him. I didn't even do anything because I had just had my eye surgery on the days that, like, a couple days prior to when that was going to happen. And I was, my eyes felt really gritty, so I really wasn't doing any crafting. And then I never opened it up. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't cut it. I didn't go through it. I really didn't do much of anything. So I decided to play with the hat box and with the hat card die set. So I want to share that with you, and I'll share what it has in it. There's not very much that comes in the package, but I'll take out what's in here so you guys can see it. And this one was class 4, and it is called, what is it called? It's called Stylish Hat Dies. So it makes a card, a hat card, a dimensional one, like an easel. Now, it did come with some papers, and I really didn't want to use these papers. Although, sometimes we think, oh, I don't know about that. But when you start playing with them, they really look really, really nice. But I didn't use any of the papers that came with it. So it does come like, it looks like they're a 12 by, I don't know, let's see. They are a 12 by 8 paper. Not sure how many come in here. Not too many. But, you get a few to play with. So that was in the package. And then you also got the gold foil, her signature gold foil. I didn't use any of that. And then it came with some ribbon that you could, grosgrain ribbon that you could use to make the band to go around the hat, which that would look really, really nice. And then it comes with a template to make a box for it. I did not use the template because I created a hat box with some circle dies. And for those of you who weren't able to get this hat die, all you need is circle dies, to be quite honest, because I created the hat box, and it's a round one, and it's pretty similar to the card. But maybe I can share that some other time. But anyway, it comes with this. It almost feels like a stencil type of material, and it's got, it creates the box, and it's a pretty deep box to house the card, but I didn't use it. And then you get a few embellishments, which I didn't really go through these embellishments. I think I used the one feather, but there's some buckles here that if I had remembered or really gone through it, I probably would have used them on my project. Maybe on my next one. I think I am going to create another one. So I would have loved to have paid attention to that. And then you get birthday sentiments and good luck sentiments. I wish it had been a more variety type of sentiments, but it only has birthday and good luck. And then you get these flowers, which I wasn't too crazy about to go in my project. They might look good with this paper, but I haven't tried this paper yet. And then it comes with these strips, which I imagine are hat bands. So it does come with that. And then you get the die. And the die consists of quite a bit. So let me open this up because I'm going to be explaining to you a little bit. I really need to get some better, I know I have them, some packaging for these instead of the plastic bag. But it does come with the inspiration sheet, and it does give you some ideas. You know, the paper that they use is not the paper that is in the box. I mean, in the class. But they are very, very pretty. So here's what they created, and mine's a little different. I mean, theirs even has different sentiments, so you can decorate any way you like. But I did mine a little bit different because I wanted it to house a blessing that some of the ladies and in our church, we want to bless the pastor's wife, and I wanted something to put that in. So let me share the card that I created with you guys. First, I did use Anna Griffin paper, but it's a, I don't even remember what it's called. I bought this paper. Let me see if I have the name for it. It is called, nope, I don't know. It might be the Lillian or something like that, because it's more of lavenders in it. I'm not sure what it's called because I threw away the name of the paper. But it's more in the lavender family. And that's what I used. And then in the last mystery box, I got this lavender foil paper. So I used the lavender foil paper. I only used one of the feathers from those embellishments that were in there. And these little, they're not leaves, they're feathers. You get the dye in here. So those are these two right here. I used the larger and the smaller. I didn't even cut out any of the flowers. I'm sure they're pretty because I love, you know, her embossing detail on her dies is amazing. But my friend Carolyn, Tea Time and Dolls, had gifted me these flowers a while back. And then these are some that I think Carolyn gifted me, even that one, or I'm not sure who gave me that. And then these little ones right here. So that's what I did there. Now, because I wanted this to house the blessing that we're going to put in here, I wanted to make mine into a box. So the die that creates this portion is this one right here. It's nestled in between this vine looking one. So that's the vine one right there. But this one right here, let me take it out. I really need to put them on magnetic shim. Anyway, to create my box, I cut 4 of these because there's a certain way that I do anything that has, what do you call them? Those little triangles that when you're constructing a 3D box, this portion right here. I usually do 2. I will wrap the little notches around the outside or underneath, whatever shape I'm using, and then in the back, to make it look really, really pretty, I put another one to cover all the mechanics. So I use 4 of these to create the box up here, because I did create it into the box. And then I only cut 1 of these because for me it doesn't make sense to cut another one to put on the bottom if you're not going to even see that. So I did cut out 4 of just a plain circle and 1 of this, it looks like a basket weave. And then let me show you, look how pretty that looks. But mine is a box. See, I created it into a box. This portion right here, this part of the die, let me take it out. This is the one that creates the hinges for this piece right here of the hat, the brim of the hat, or to create the box. So I cut 2 of these out, and on one of them I cut off these notches right at the score line, and I left one side intact. And I cut 2 of them because I wanted to make a bottom and I wanted to make a top. I wanted to make it into a box. So I cut 2 of them, and on both of them I did the same thing. I cut off one of the sides of the hinges see if I can move this over some. And then for the band, which is right here, I cut it in the lavender foil. That is this one right here, and it's also a basket weave, just like that circular piece that's there. But that's what I did to create this portion of the box. And then I needed one of these, and this is the base of the card. Even if you don't have this and you have circle dies, you can create the base for a die. And those of you who have been crafting a long time will know exactly what I'm talking about, because we know to fold our papers in half and then just let this section not cut, and right over that hinge wherever we scored it, and over the fold, and don't let it sit on the fold. But I don't think this one will cut because I think it just embosses. So you could actually fold your paper, and well, you wouldn't be using this one, you would be using a circle, and you would make sure that the fold part is not in the way where the blade is going to cut it. So you would want the die to be above your fold line a little bit to make the base. And maybe I'll walk you through that. Maybe I'll create one without using the dies. And then on the bottom I did the same thing. See how I cut off all the notches because I didn't need them. And this circle here, the little circle that's in here, first I cut one and I wrapped it underneath the circle, and then where you can see all the little hinges, I just put another piece on top to cover all those hinges where it's clean. This piece right here is the stopper piece, and you get two pieces here. It's the silhouette, and then you get the detail embossed part of that die. And it doesn't have anything for a sentiment if you want to create your own, but I actually used the detail one because it gives you a deep impression, the embossing around, and I was able to just fussy cut it and get my sentiment right in this area. So it was very, very easy. So you can put a gift card in there, you can put a blessing and money blessing in there, whatever you want to, or candy or whatever you want to put in there. But this is an easel card. And there is the easel card. Let me move this out of the way. Probably distracting, right? So this is how it sits. I'm going to tilt it so you guys can see what I'm seeing. That's what it looks like. And I love the way it looks. Right here, I stamped the sentiment on just a scrap piece of paper, and I kind of eyeballed it to make sure it was in the center of this die, and then I just fussy cut around the embossing, you know, where you could see some of the foil paper, but I could also get a sentiment in there. If you have really good eyesight and you're good at fussy cutting, you shouldn't have any trouble. Mine doesn't look too bad, and my eyesight is not great, and I'm terrible at fussy cutting. But anyway, that's what I did. And what I did here, I did not glue this portion down. Let me get a scrap piece of paper. I did not glue this portion down because I want to add probably a piece of paper, because it's several people that are joining in this blessing. And that way we can just write our sentiment or whatever we want to say to our pastors and just tuck it in here, and they can take it out and read it. So all I did was add glue to just the bottom of this and just at the very edge, because I wanted a pocket here. So actually I'm just going to leave that in there, or I could just write a sentiment there if I wanted to, if it was just one person. But because it's several of us, I'm going to have to add a paper. But there is the card. Now to create the box, I did the exact same thing. I used a carnation craft die, but if any circle die will do. Any circle die will do that you have in your stash. This is the one I use, and it's concentric circles. And I think I didn't use the last one. I used the next two, the next one down, then I skipped one, and then the next one down after that, because I wanted to have enough of an area where my hinge, I could glue it and it would have enough, but not too much. So this is the one that I use. Any circle die you can use to make a card. Like I said, I'll try and create one. That way show you how to do it in case all you have are circle dies. and you don't have the hat die, it's pretty much the same thing. So I use these for mine. And I use these to create the hat box. Let me close it back up and share it with you guys. I really love the way the hat box came out. Here's the hat box that I created for that. Let me move this. Remove these out of the way. So here's the hat box that I created using just circle dies, and I just figured out how thick I needed it to be, or how tall I needed my box to be according to how tall my card was. And I gave it a little extra room, a little bit of wiggle room on the sides and on the top as well. And this die right here, I think my friend Mig from Puerto Rico gave me that, and I'll share that with you. I'll show you what it looks like. That die, this lady, and I thought it was perfect for the hat box. It's this right here. It comes with the two ladies and then the two cutting dies. It is by Hero Arts, and it's a very old one, I'm sure. And I have used it before. Like, I've sent my friend Carolyn some die cuts of stamped and cut using these two stamps. And I remembered that I had it, and I thought it would be perfect to embellish the hat box. So that's that one. I'm not going to add any links because I don't even know if they're available. I'm just showing you what they look like. And this one is called, actually, let me tell you what it's called. It does not have a name, but it does have a number right there. So there is a number, 657854. So that's the item number on that. And then I wanted to put a sentiment on my box. And I have this Anna Griffin inspirational expressions. They're stamps. They are stamps, and they are already pre-made sentiments, but none of the sentiments that I had was what I wanted or the color that I needed, except that one that says faith. This is very, very nice if you can ever pick it up. And I think these are card inserts as well, but you get the stamps. Let me see if I can put something white behind it. You can't see it that well because there's writing on the back. But these are very nice sentiments. Like the one I used is, it's on the other one, but it says you can do it. God's love is endless. You guys know I'm a Christian. Peace be with you. I mean, there's a lot of them. Have faith. And they're, like I said, they're inspirational. The one I use right here is, it says God bless you. But these are really, really nice. I think Anna Griffin still sells those. So you probably can still get them because although they are old, I got mine not long ago. So I think they're still available on her website. And they come in this nice little envelope. So that's what I got. My little chain came off. I had these tags on a little chain. And like on these tags, I love doing tags. So I cut out, just with the scraps, I cut out tags. And then I'm just going to just put them in this little chain and hook it onto the handle of the hat box. And then I have the word lovely right here, and this one is a Cherry Lynn die. I think Cherry Lynn is out of business, but it has lovely in 2 different sizes. My friend Nisha, Inspiring Beautiful Creations here on YouTube, she always calls me lovely, so I bought this die and I love it. But that's the first time I use it because I hadn't been creating at all since I bought it. And then these are some of my all-time favorite tags. I've had these a long time. I actually have 2 sets. And these I think I got at AliExpress, to be honest. And I bought 2 sets. They were really economical. And I could, because I like different sizes and I like the shape of that tag. Now, on the hat box, this little piece right here that looks like the end of a belt, the tapered piece, that I used any purse die that you have, you can use to make the handles. I used this one, and this one was gifted to me also by my friend Nisha years ago. I had never used it. This is the first time I use it, but I opened it up and it had that buckle piece, which is this one right here. So you get it more narrow and a little bit wider, and then different shapes in it. And then you get a couple of buckles, some tags, and then of course the bag. I had never ever played with it. I just had to have it, and my friend got it for me. And that's what makes me feel bad, that some of these things my friends bought for me and they're just sitting in my craft room. So I decided to use this pieces of this one here, but any one that you have will do. So I used that, and I believe that is all that I used. I did use a piece of acetate to make a window here, and I'm going to open this up and show it to you. By using my circle dies, I was able to make my box just a little bit bigger. I used a bigger circle so it would be big enough where it would house my card. I'll put my card in there in a minute, but it's pretty clean on the inside, as you can see, because I always cut two. To cut this, the ring right here, I put two pieces of paper together, and I use those two dies that I told you about. See how I left myself about 5/8 of an inch, maybe even a 1/2 an inch would be good to put the to glue this portion of the box, or should I say this portion, because I did this portion. And then you could see all the little points here where they were glued on. So that's where the second one comes in. First I did my acetate, and then I added the last ring on top to clean it up, to make it look good. Although I did make a mistake. I did the base first, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have done my lid first, and that way I know how tight it can be, because if it's too tight, you won't be able to get the lid on top. And I made that mistake because I don't know what I was thinking. But what I recommend that you do, and I did have to cut two of the strips with the notches, and I kind of glued two together, and I cut off about 4 inches off of one of them. It only needs to be about 19 inches, 19.5 inches long, the strip. If you're using, depending on what size of circle you're using, you can definitely measure really quick what size you need after you cut your circles with just a measuring tape. That's what I use to measure mine. But I love the way it looks. And as you can see here, it looks very clean. You don't see none of the notches there. And you don't see any in the back. That's why I make two, so I can cover the mechanics, and they're in between the two layers, and it's less likely to come unglued as well. So that is what I created. I'll put it in the box so you guys can get a better look at it. And I have plenty of room, as you can see. It's not sticking up too high. And then I have a little bit of an edge around it. So you want to give yourself anywhere 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch around it. That way you don't have, sometimes our cards can get a little bulky, or they can stick out further than we would like them to. And see, the lid goes on really easy. But it's not as clean as I would like it to be, because when I finished it, it was too tight, and I had to pull it apart and redo it. The way I got the right size is the strip that goes here that has the notches. I actually put it around the bottom part, and then I glued it. And then I went back and glued it to these little rings that I had done, because that way I knew it wasn't going to be too tight or too loose. But that's what I created, you guys. That's all that I wanted to share with y'all. Let me move this. And because the hat has flowers on one side, when I would put it in the box would want to roll because it's round. So after I added this here and the flowers down here, so that adds weight to the other side of the box and it keeps it from turning. So I like the way that came out. And then of course here are the little tags that some of us will sign on these tags. I might add more tags, and some of us will just, you know, sign a piece of paper that is going to be inside the card. Come on. Really? There. And then these tags just hang here, and you can, like, I could put as many tags as I wanted here, but the problem is the more tags that I put, it's going to pull, it's going to have weight on this side. So I'd rather just put a paper in there where everybody can sign. But anyway, guys, this is what I created. I hope that you like it. I hope that this gives you ideas. And if you haven't been crafting for a long time, I hope this inspires you to get back in your craft room and use those things that you spent a lot of money on, or that your friends spent a lot of money on. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope everyone's having a great day, and God bless. Bye.